Hey, how's it going? Today is a sourcing day, so I'm out and about. I'm hoping to do more sourcing than I've done lately. I'm trying to hit 7 or 8 stores. Should be a pretty good day. I'm expecting to have a full trunk when I'm done with all this. So yeah, let's see what we get. All right, to start off with, there's a caribou. I've talked about it before. We get about 50 to 60 when it's complete. Parts sell pretty well. This here is a vintage aggravation. I only typically get the vintage ones. The newer ones just don't go for as much. This Mr. Bucket, we usually get about $30 plus shipping. Plus, again, the pieces sell pretty well. This is just a Fisher Price Games, not a huge one here. Same with the Disney Princess. Those are just usual ones we buy. The Super Scrabble, some of those can go for pretty good money. This Stratego Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know that I've ever seen this particular Stratego before, but it was going for pretty good money. And then just a vintage Mickey Yahtzee. Here we got a replica vintage Barbie game and a Holly Dolly vintage game. I don't think I've ever seen that Holly Dolly game before. And then this is a 1991 Game of Life. It's a pretty regular seller for us. We get about 25 to 30 for it. Colored Q, that's another one that we see on a regular basis. It's about 30 plus shipping. A very old Ants in the Pants. I don't think I've ever seen that old of one before. And then some more vintage 50s, 60s games. And then here we have a Star Wars Collector's Edition. This is the one with the coins. I did double check it to make sure it had the coins, and it did. Just a canasta card game. The next here is a vintage domino. It's a Rummikub game with a faux leather case. And that right there in the yellow is the dominoes. We got some vintage figurines, Ghostbusters. I think there was some He-Man in there. I don't know if it was vintage He-Man, but this one had some Imaginext figures in it and some other things. All right, the first store is done. Had some pretty good luck here. Ended up with 18 games and one old domino set, and then 2 toy bags. So pretty good first store, and yeah, I got some good ones, as I just mentioned. Anyway, I'm off to my next store. Again, I think it's going to be a good day today. If I get like 80 games here with the first 5 stores, I may cut off a few stores at the end if it keeps going like this, but we'll see. Alright, to start off here, there's some sealed action figures. Nothing too crazy, but they were sealed, so I figured why not. Easy to list. Disney Seen It. This is a pretty standard one for us. Oh, and the bag of Cars. The reason I picked that up is it has some Disney Pixar Cars in it. I don't know much about cars, but I know that Disney Pixar Cars can sell for some good money. I don't think there was anything too crazy at this store, except for maybe that vintage Monopoly Pokemon. That's the older edition. Goes for pretty decent money. I knew that it had all of its figures in there, so it was a no-brainer to pick up. And the other bag was some more Disney Princess stuff, I believe. Yeah, Disney Princess. And then another Seen It here. Nothing too crazy, pretty standard stuff for us. Kind of our bread and butter. And an old Hootie game. And an really old Flinch game. Alright, second store is done. Ended up with 7 games and 6 games, a toy bag, and then two action figures that were still in their packaging. So yeah, not quite as good as the first store. But still, having a pretty good day. On to the next store. Something I am noticing about these stores is that their prices seem to have gone down a little bit on board games. I'm not sure why the change, but I will gladly take it. Something else, I'm also trying to be a little more picky about the toys I'm picking up, just because I have a lot at home that is they're just sitting there. I just can't help myself. That's the only problem. Anyway. Alright, starting off with another masterpiece. I've talked about that one before. We seem to find it on a pretty regular basis. There's a Monopoly Retro Series game. And an old Concentration. You gotta open those up, make sure everything's as it should be in those before you buy them. What else we got here? There's a book there that's actually for personal use. My daughter's really getting into the Percy Jackson books. Another Monopoly Golf game. And a Connect 4. That one I don't see too often, but it goes for about 20 bucks. I don't think there was anything too crazy at this store. Killer Bunnies, I tend to pick these up just because a lot of times they have extra sets inside, which then can increase the value quite a bit. That's Sour Apples to Apples. Excuse me, the Big Picture Apples to Apples, that's a good one. Trivial Pursuit, that's 2010 to 2020. That one surprisingly goes for a decent amount. Vintage, Don't Spill the Beans, and then this had some figures in it. I saw some Tubtown figurines, and then there's also some vintage Fisher Price, I think. And this one just had some Fortnite and Star Wars figurines. That was just more to learn. I don't know if those are worth anything or not. Another canasta. Alright, not too bad at this store. Walked out with 10 games and 2 toy bags. So I'm pleased. So far, I think I'm sitting around 35 games or so, plus some toys. So I'm probably just going to hit 2 more stores. I set out today not really having a number that I was trying to hit, and I seem to be finding more. So that might be the mentality that I need going forward, is not really worry about a goal. I mean, obviously you have to have a goal, but just not get so hung up on it, I think. Anyway, all right. Alright, looks like we got, I think that's a 1991 Ouija board, and a Monopoly Mandalorian. That's one that makes sound. Busy Town, anytime I see Busy Town, I look them up because a lot of that stuff sells pretty well. Again, I don't think this store was too crazy. Yeah, Funny Bones. That's a standard pickup as long as it's reasonably priced. And I found some Game of Lifes here. Let's see, Star Wars. Oops, Star Wars. And what else did I think I had? A Simpsons. Yep, Simpsons right there. And I think I also found a SpongeBob Life. Yeah, SpongeBob Life. And they're all reasonably priced, around $4. So I'll pick those up any day. And a Monopoly Super Electronic Banking. Clue. Simpsons Clue, and Office Clue. This one is a Marvel. What was it called? Some sort of battle game. All right, another decent store. Got 11 games here, and so that brings my total to probably about, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 45, maybe 50, and that's just games. That's not including toys and, well, toys. So far pretty good. I'm gonna go to one more store. I should end up with 50 to 60 games, and that'll be a good day for me, because I still got to get home and list. Alright, to start off with, we got a vintage Candyland. That's the long box. That should go for about 40 to 50. Trouble, retro series. I tend to look up those retro series. Most of them are worthwhile. This is actually a Gummy Bears puzzle. I've actually done this before, and it went for like $30. And I checked this one in the store. It had all the pieces. This is a Sherlock Holmes game. Felt heavy. Felt like it was probably worth picking up. This is a Rustic series. I've never seen this Rustic series. I've seen pretty much every other game in that series except that one. And then there were a couple games and little games in this one. We've done that the Holly Golly game before, and the bigger version of that Ghost game. All right, just finished my last store. Came out with 7 more games. So yeah, it should be over 50. So really, I just needed 30 today, and I've far surpassed that, so it was a good day. Yeah, now I gotta get home, I gotta get these put away, and I've gotta get some listings done. All right, so when I got home, I wasn't able to list right away like I was hoping, because I have a ton of games in the office that need to be bagged and come out here. But in order for them to come out here, I had to consolidate the garage. So I'm in the middle of that. I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. And I explained it in another video, but I didn't actually show what I was doing. So I'm going to show what I'm doing. All right, so as you can see, I started all the way down this first row, pushed everything down, moved it around. Same thing over here, pushed it down, moved it around so it's all nice and full. Same thing on this side. And then you'll see where I'm at right now. So I've consolidated everything up to here. And then you can see that this is all empty right here. And then these two are empty as well, but I've got all of this over here that will have to go onto these shelves. So eventually when I'm done, there's not going to be anything on this side for games. But that's good because I've got a room full of games that need to be bagged and come out here. So that's the idea. Then once I do that, then I can actually finish listing. I've got about 20 games that just need photos, and then I was going to list some more, so that's what I'm doing. All right, I'm all done. That's the end of it. Now we have a lot of room. All these have been moved. A lot of room for more games, so I gotta go in and do that now. I just wanted to point out that these are the kinds of activities that a lot of people don't tell you about when it comes to reselling. The maintenance of inventory, the maintenance of the store. A lot of people just think it's sourcing and listing and then shipping. So sourcing, listing, shipping. And yes, that's the foundation of it. But they don't talk about these little things that take time. They eat up time. So it's best to work your business so that you can minimize this time that you're spending on things that are not three pillars of reselling. All right, so I just cleared out this area. Got all except for that tote. I got all the games bagged that were over there. So now those are gonna all go out to the garage. And then I'm gonna finish taking pictures of these ones and then bag those. And this is what a day in my life looks like. It's pretty much constant. If I'm not working, I'm doing something with the family. I had dinner, and I just helped get some kids upstairs to get ready for bed. And now I'm back to work, and it's nonstop. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. Okay, it's almost 11 o'clock, and I'm going to wrap up my day here. We ended up getting 24 listings done thanks to Jen, my wife, doing the listing part. I just came in and took the photos and launched them. I ended up with 60 units today. It was about 50 games, maybe a little over 50. And then the rest were just some random toy things or toy sets and stuff. So it was a pretty good day. I consolidated the garage, or finished consolidating the garage. So we were able to move a bunch of stuff out of here. These are all the games that I was taking pictures of. And hopefully tomorrow we can wrap some more of this up and have a clean weekend. So it was a good day. Oh, and yesterday we did over $600 in sales. So hopefully eBay is starting to pop again, which would be really nice right now. But anyway, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, check us out on Facebook, Books and Boards, and I will see you tomorrow.